Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of GyalDem City, hosted by myself. It's Yan City, Yannicka, and the lovely Rose. Today, we're just going to touch on the West Brom game, and then we'll move on to a Sheffield preview, and we'll talk a little bit about the title race. So, Rose, obviously the West Brom game, I think looked like City kind of back to their absolute best. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought we were brilliant. Although, you know, in the opening minutes, West Brom did have a really good opportunity to score. I think from Shea Ajayi. Edison and Stones just saved us. Because I feel like at this moment in the match, City hadn't started that well. You know, we're living on the edge a bit, and I feel like West Brom scored the opening goal, it would have probably been a bit of a different match for City. But they didn't score, which was good for us. And, you know, not too long after, Gundogan scored that beautiful opening goal with the assist from Cancelo. And I feel when, you know, because we had scored so early on, West Brom's game plan, which I think was to, you know, sit back, you know, defend deep in numbers and probably try and you know, maybe score from a corner, because their game plan was out of the way, like in like the first 5 minutes, I could just feel like City were just going to score a few more goals in that match, and they did. I think not too long after, I think who scored? I think it was who scored their second goal again? I think it
was because it was Gundogan.
Yeah, we scored so many.
Oh.
I think it was Gundogan, and then Cancelo. Sorry, Cancelo scored.
Oh yeah, the goal that the offside one. Yeah.
Scored. That was, you know, rightly given to us after the VAR review, and then Gundogan scored the third not too long after. So it was like they were 3-0 down, like 30 minutes, and I feel like at this point West Brom did crumble a little bit. I think I even said that, you know, he can accept defeat, but not like this. So I feel like, you know, they did make it a little bit easy for us, you know, after the third, and then not too long after, I think Mahrez scored just before half time, which was well, I think with his left foot, and, you know, he's had his critics, but, you know, I couldn't criticise that performance against West Brom. He was brilliant. And then, you know, the second half was, you know, more of the same. We created chances, but I don't think we created that many chances. I think it's because Pep took off Gundogan and Foden, you know, quite early on in the second half. But we still scored. I think Sterling still scored. And I thought overall, you know, it was a good performance from City. And I just want to say, like, special shout out to Cancelo, who I thought was exceptional in that match. I mean, I think he's just like the ultimate right back. I mean, he can not only defend well, but like just going forward as well, like his technical ability, you know, the way that he's so quick with his feet, and the fact that he's just always looking for a forward pass, you know, to create a chance to City. I think it's just unmatched. Like, he's just absolute class. So I thought, overall performance from City. What do you think?
I thought it was good. I thought City, the problem that we've had at the start of the season is we weren't clinical enough. So like you say, we probably would have maybe, at the start of the season, we would have conceded that goal to West Brom. And then it would have been a shaky game. And I think we probably would have got a draw or something. But yeah, the way it's going at the moment, like City just look clinical. Like I think in that game, actually, we didn't have many more shots than we had goals, which is weird for City, because normally we have to sort of have 10 chances to score 2. So, you know, to get that many goals out of that many chances that's what's making me think City are actually back to their absolute best, because we're having games where we can win 1-0, but then the next week we're having games where we get 5 chances and we take 4 of them, like, which is good. I think, to be honest, like, West Brom probably, as much as people sometimes say, you know, we disrespect the opposition, I feel like because they got a draw, they probably thought they would get the same again. And I think that's kind of how City punished them, because they probably thought, well, we'll just kind of try and keep it tight at the back and then hope for the best. But to be fair to City, a lot of the goals were from outside the box. So you can't really defend that as easily. So I think that's probably why. Like that Mahrez goal was unbelievable. I pulled my hands up because I tweeted Gundogan because he tried to shoot, I think, or do something before, and I was like, "You're not Gundogan, babes." And then we saw that, so I was like, "Okay, let me just close my mouth." But Cancelo is funny because last season I used to big him up, and every time I bigged him up, he'd have a bad game, and people would be like, "Shit," and I was like, "No, he's not. He's good," but it just wasn't. His final product just wasn't working last season, but this season it's just clicked. But I have to say he's also improved defensively because last season he was good going forward, but it wasn't working too well. Defensively he wasn't as good, whereas this season he's been excellent going forward and excellent defensively. So I can't really fault Cancelo. Obviously, Gundogan is just on fire at the moment. I think it's the second goal where he jumps in to get the ball back.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
Then scores. It's things like that. I love that. I really do. So yeah, I'm very happy with City at the moment. I think we're just working so well together, and I don't think it really matters too much who's in the team. I think it just kind of flows, and it's just the defensive side of things that makes me confident because last season, like I say, we probably would have conceded that goal first.
Yeah.
Then we don't go 4-0 up at half time. And it's just I could actually relax in the second half and enjoy the game because I knew that we'd won, which is rare for City over the past year or two. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Guys, if you're in here, just like the video. We'll get to some of the comments quickly before we go on to Sheffield. Why not sentiment big up to you? Says, who are you? 187 Gangster Crip, big up to him. Says, big up to GyalDem. Neek Sport says, when will you stop paying refs?
Oh my God.
I'm not too sure it's Man City that are paying the refs, but hey ho. To be fair, we'll just touch on that actually while we're here because obviously there was a little bit of controversy about the goal because, they stopped. But since I've been a football fan, it's always been play to the whistle.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think. And that's why you get a lot of times you see defenders scrapping and then they'll get up and they'll put the hand up and be like, that's offside. But they don't stop. And to be honest, not all the West Brom players stopped, but a few of them stopped and Cancelo just picked one out. I was like, it's offside. And he shot.
The thing up so early on.
Yeah. I think it's her fault really because she was waving it around like a mad person.
Yeah.
So she probably distracted the players.
Yeah.
And to be fair to them, I probably would have been gutted if it was the other way around. But then I would be saying, because I've seen it at City many times where the flag's gone up, the City players stop, the other team score, and the ref says it wasn't off, and they get the goal. So you've got to play to the whistle. That is the first rule of football, play to the whistle, then appeal after, especially now we've got VAR. Because now, before, the ref might have just agreed with the lines person. Even if it's not offside, they might have been like, yeah, it was offside. Whereas now you've got VAR, so chances are if it is offside, it's going to be called offside. So play to the whistle, and then afterwards, then you can appeal it, and then VAR can be checked, and then you might get the goal disallowed. But yeah, I think they just all of these controversial decisions, I just feel like a lot of them are actually not controversial decisions. People are just jumping on anything. And they're in games that we were going to win anyway. I'm not saying we would have won it 5-0, but we were going to win that game. But yeah, just before we go, what do you think of the controversy? And also have to mention, Sterling came on and got a goal and assist, which is good because he hadn't been scoring. So yeah, what do you think of them two things?
You've said well what happened with the controversy.
Yeah.
Have to just play to the whistle, but it's true what you said. if it had happened to City, I would have been a bit annoyed. But at the end of the day, I feel like had we not scored 5, we would have scored 4th. So I don't care about that. Happy that he got his first goal in the Premier League, and brilliant goal. In terms of Sterling, like I said, I don't even think Sterling's had that much of a bad season.
Yeah.
Is it like 6 goals and like 4 assists or something in the Premier League this season, which isn't.
He was our top scorer, wasn't he, for a bit, and then he got overtaken by Foden and Tara. I think he was on the same as Torres in all fronts, so he's got quite a few goals.
Yeah, I think earlier on, I think it was just his decision making. I think, taking an extra touch instead of just passing it, or going like shooting instead of passing it. I think it was his decision making, but I feel like recently he's just making better decisions, and he's getting goals and assists now. So I think Sterling will be one of our bright players, like throughout the second half of the season. I think. So
I think everyone was struggling. Like I said at the start of the season, like everyone is struggling. It's not just, you can't, like, people will blame Sterling or blame Mahrez, but it was kind of like everyone was struggling. And it now seems to be that, like, anyone in the team can score. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. The only person that I'd probably be surprised if you said, oh, they scored, would be Edison. Everyone else is capable of getting a goal. So, and the way City play, it's one of them things where literally anyone can get a goal. So, it's good. I'm happy that we're kind of back, but this season's just so unpredictable. So we don't even know what's going to happen. Ryan says, big up the 2 queens, Jan and Rose. Big up to you. 187 Gex Crit says, LOL, brown envelope FC. Whatever. Yeah, he also says, that's why not sentiment says, that's hilarious needs come from a United fan, Manchester United, and that from when you can get a penalty after the game's finished, you have no right to be talking about brown envelope FC and all that rubbish.
His money's run out. They run out against Sheffield United. Sorry.
Fergie needs to get his wallet back out, man. He's been declining since he left. Ryan says, lovely goal from Mahrez. What a player. I wish we had a right winger like him. Do you know what's so funny? I feel like if he had Mahrez, he'd feel the same way about Salah that he feels about Salah. Because from the outside looking in, Salah looks decent. But he's frustrating for Liverpool fans. And I feel like that with Mahrez. Like, Mahrez is a fantastic player. But he is frustrating.
Yeah.
The most frustrated I've ever been with Mahrez was actually that Cheltenham game. Because I just don't understand why he was doing stepovers against these people. Like, they're regular guys. They probably got a part-time job. Just, like, do the basic football that City play sometimes, and Bob's your uncle. You don't need to be, like, doing stepovers and fancy stuff against Cheltenham.
No.
I don't know. Maybe he came from lower leagues in France, didn't he? So maybe that's what he was doing there. I don't know. But
I was trying to defend him in that. I think Pep played him out of position, I think, in that match. But no, Tottenham, I'm not being funny. Like, you're better than him. I don't know what he was doing in that match, but it was
everyone was struggling in that game. Like, Jesus is lucky he got a goal because that was borderline embarrassing from him. So, I can't. That game frustrated me. But, he brought on the Three Kings and we won it. Ryan says, that Cancelo finish, fire, best right back in the league by far. Have to agree with that. Why not says, Yang, you look cold. I don't know if that means cold as in good or freezing cold.
No, like cold, the shirt's nice.
Who knows, isn't it? Okay. Oh Lord, the comments are going mad. I just want to see these before. Delyan Georgiev, I don't know how to say his name. Sorry. He says, would you choose Cancelo over Walker if both fit? What do you think, Rose?
I think with the form that Cancelo's in, I'm so sorry, but I'm choosing Cancelo. You just got to go with who's in great form. Don't get me wrong though, having Walker as like a backup is he's equally just as good. But Cancelo over Walker for me. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. I think because a lot of people were debating when Walker came back from injury, should he go back into the right back or should Cancelo stay there? But why would you move Cancelo, who's having the best season, that a City fullback's had in a long time?
Yeah.
For Kyle Walker. Like, if anything, Kyle Walker should play out of position on the left, and I don't know if that'll work because I've never really seen him there, I don't think. But he's better off playing out of position with how Cancelo's playing. But yeah, I think there's no way you can take him out. He's undroppable. Ryan says Cancelo is clearly overrated, Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker's overrated, but Cancelo's having the season of his life, basically.
Yeah, Dalian says Cancelo works at left back, but I think he's most effective at right back. But yeah, you're right, City don't have any decent or fit left backs. Because I think that's the thing. I think although he can play at left back, it's not really fair to take him out of there. So I don't know. I'd say if we were choosing our strongest lineup, then obviously Kyle Walker and Cancelo would be stronger than the other options that we've got available. But I wouldn't want to take Cancelo on the right. I don't know if Kyle Walker could work on the left. I don't know. I doubt it because I think he would have tried him there if he could.
Yeah.
So, I'm not too sure.
I kind of wish that Mendy was like just having a really good season as well. Because I think Mendy and Cancelo on both Mendy as the left back and then obviously right back, I feel like would have been so effective for City. I feel like we'd have scored a lot of goals this season if we had them, but I don't know what's happening with Mendy. Like, what is actually happening? Like, can someone explain to me what's going on with Mendy?
You know what? Like, I think because obviously the first season when he came, he was really good. Because I remember even when I was watching that Amazon Prime thing, it's that show. They were showing like when he first came in and the results that we were getting, and he was like getting assists and everything. And he just kind of after that injury, he kind of fell off a bit. But I think for him, he's not getting a run of games, and I just think because of that, he's not effective. And the problem that we've got is we can't afford to give him a run of games, because we can't risk losing or dropping points. So I just think he's probably going to leave. Not right now, but I just think I don't know. I can't see his career at City turning around like John Stones. I just can't see it. But I do like Mendy, and I think he's a good player, but I don't know. I think Pep doesn't trust him too much either. So I'm not too sure. It's interesting because I wonder if, because I know Laporte has played kind of in a left back position when we've done like a back three. So I'm wondering, can Laporte not come in as a left back, and play alongside Diaz and Stones? Because obviously he's played kind of to that side a few times when we've needed him in a back three. So I'm just wondering whether Pep could try that, because I don't like the fact Laporte's out. I think he's too good a player to be out, but he's not better than Diaz and Stones on this current form. So we need them two as our centre-back pairing. But it would be nice to kind of see Laporte. So I'm wondering if Pep could maybe try that. I don't know. You know what Pep's like. He probably will. But he's kind of played, I'm sure he's played left back before for us.
Yeah, I think he has, yeah.
So I think even that would be better. But obviously you like Zinchenko.
Yeah, I like Zinchenko. He does a good job.
Yeah, he has been doing a good job. So I think unless he gets injured or something, I don't know what's going to happen. But Laporte didn't really do himself too many favours when he came back because, he wasn't great, but he's still getting back to fitness. So can't really fault him for that. Neek says, let's not talk about Sheffield. So we will talk about Sheffield because that's our next game. So, Rose, Sheffield United were rubbish, but in the past 3-4 games, they've won 2. Their first 2 wins of the season. Yeah. One of them, obviously, Man United. What are you thinking? Because Pep has said that he's a little bit worried. I know he does say that sometimes, but I think he genuinely is because they gave us a bit of a hard time. I know we played a great game against them at their place. But we only got 1-0, and I know we weren't as clinical back then, but it was a kind of tough game a little bit. So what are your thoughts for today?
Yeah, no, you're right about when we played them before. I thought they didn't play that bad. Obviously we got the goal, but at times we did have to defend really well against them. But against United, I think that match is going to give them so much confidence.
Yeah.
To go to Old Trafford and win 2-1, like in a season where they have not been good at all. Yeah, like I'm a bit worried. But do I think Sheffield United can, win two matches in a row, against United and City? Do I think they can do that? I don't think they're gonna. Nah, I think we'll beat Sheffield United, because it's going to be too much for them. Like, they've just played United, and then to come to City and no, I don't know. I just don't see it happening. Like, I see why Pep is scared, but I feel like City should win. What do you think?
Yeah, we should win. We should definitely win. But whether we do or not, I don't know. This season's crazy. What I would say is, obviously, Keane Brian, who obviously scored against Man United, he will have a little bit of a point to prove because he's a City academy player, and obviously he didn't make it at City. So I think he's going to want to prove that he was good enough. So I'm a little bit worried about him, just because I know, when you've been at a club and you don't make it, it's kind of like you need to prove that you're good enough. So I think he will probably play well if he plays. But I think City should have enough to beat them. Like, the way they play and stuff like that, I can see Diaz should be able to, defend. I'm not saying they're not going to score, because you never know. But yeah, I think we should have enough to beat them. In the form that we're in, we should be beating them. So we'll have to see. Obviously, is what this season's the only season where I can't call any game. Like, normally I'd be like, yeah, we always beat Villa, we'll beat them 2-1. But this season, I said that about West Ham, and we didn't beat West Ham. So I don't know. But yeah, I'd hope we win. So who do you think Pep's going to play in his starting 11?
I think Pep's going to go with the same team again, like he started with West Brom. I think we're going to play Edison, Diaz, and Stones, obviously, Cancelo. I think Zinchenko will start.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Bernardo, Rodri, Gundogan, and then Sterling and Mahrez. I think the only change that he might make is he might drop Foden and play. The only thing that he might change, but yeah, I think he'll probably go with probably the same starting 11.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think he will. I think the same as what you said. I think he might play Gabby, but he has said there's games where he'll play a striker, and there's games when he won't play a striker. Obviously, the first game against Sheffield, we played Ferran Torres up front, and he was excellent. I think that's one of his best games. Even though he didn't actually score, he was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think it's Kyle Walker that got the goal. So it was like a bit of a random thing. It was a long way out as well. But Ferran Torres was really, really good against them. So I don't know if he will kind of try that again, or whether he only played him because we had no striker available at the time. So I think he will play Gabby. I can see Gabby coming in. But yeah, I think Sterling Mahrez, that's who he'll play. It would be nice to see Foden again, because Foden's been on fire, but we don't want to overplay him. Like, a lot of people argue that, like, he should start every game, but we want him. We want to keep him fit. We want to keep him, we don't want him to get burnt out too quickly. So in games like today, we should be beating them with or without Foden. I think Sterling's had a little bit of a rest recently, so he should be refreshed. So, he only played a few minutes against West Brom, and I think he was rested. He was rested against Cheltenham, so he's had a few rests. So I think definitely Sterling.
Yeah,
that's someone you can say is definitely going to be in the squad. So yeah, I think we'll have to see how it goes. What do you think the scoreline will be? Obviously, it's quite hard to predict, but what do you think?
I'm gonna go with a 3-1 City. Obviously, I know that our defense has been solid, but for some reason, I feel like we can't keeping clean sheets. Like eventually, one of them will go in. But hopefully it's not today. But just to be, I'm gonna go with a 3-1 City.
Yeah, Diaz always pissed. He'd be like, the bottom of the table. He's funny. I love Diaz. Diaz is too funny. Like, I did not expect what we got from him. Like, I saw that he was like a solid leader. People had called him that, but to have the mentality that he has is crazy. Like, he will be pissed if they have a shot on target. But yeah, I think maybe 3-1. City look like they're scoring at the moment. So I could see us getting 3. I think could be 2-1. It just depends on how they defend. Because I think against United it's quite end to end. And I think if they play like that against City, I think City will beat them. So yeah, 3-1 sounds like a good shout. Let us know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like the video. To everyone that's watching, we'll get to the comments. Gangster Crit says, I remember Cancelo for Juve playing against United at Old Trafford. He absolutely ripped us apart.
Not surprised.
Yeah, he's been a good player for a while. Ryan says, I love Trent. Any Liverpool fan who says they wouldn't swap him for Cancelo are smoking.
No, Trent is good for Liverpool. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
in that system, he works. But Cancelo for Liverpool would be sick as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Can't even lie. Real Scott said, would love to see Laporte starting at left back. Yeah, I would. I think he's too good to not be in the squad. Neeks says, what's your bride price? He wants to marry a City fan, clearly. Oh, God. Ryan says, United fans crying about refereeing decision, even though they're the only club who got 3 points for drawing a game against Brighton. No. After that, there's nothing. Like, we could get a blatant handball in a Manchester derby to win us the league, and it wouldn't be as fixed as Man United. Like, what is going on? Ryan says Sterling is overrated, but I'd swap him for a certain player in our front three.
Leave Salah alone.
He's making me feel bad for Salah. I don't even like him. Ryan says, can you see Edison taking a penalty during a game one day? It would be hilarious.
I can. Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah.
I think Pep would go mad. You know when I think it'll be? If we ever get to, you know when you get to a cup final and it goes to penalties and people keep scoring and it's like 5-5, 6-6, 7-7. I could see him having to take a penalty.
I think Joe Hart took one before, I think.
Yeah.
I can see it happen.
It's normally in penalty shootouts when it happens. That's the only time because... But you know what? Like, everyone's so hyped about it. I can see him missing. I can actually see him missing the penalty. Nah, I'm scared. Like, I would actually be scared. But I think, you know what? I'm hoping that Spurs game doesn't come to it. Unless we play poor. Because if we play poor, obviously we'll get beat. So, yeah, maybe if we're playing poor, maybe we can get to penalties. But, yeah, I think it'd be interesting. But it would have to be a penalty shootout. Definitely. I'm assuming he does it in training. Because obviously they have to defend it, don't they? So they have to practice penalties. So he'll probably take them in training. But yeah, I don't know. Kelly says, do you both think City will win the Champions League? And if you don't, will questions be asked of Pep?
We've been here before. Can City win the Champions League? Yes, they can. Do I think they're going to win it this season? I don't know. I think someone was saying that, I think Bayern in their league, it hasn't been wrapped up. I think League, it hasn't been wrapped up as well. So normally at this stage, these teams are doing like phenomenal in their leagues. So it gives them a chance to play really well in the Champions League. But I don't know, like the season's crazy. Like City actually could win it, but I just don't think we're ready. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's our mentality. I think it's because we've not won it before. I just don't know. Like I feel like we might get to the semis, and yeah, we might not do it. Do I think questions will be asked of Pep? Yeah, questions are always asked of Pep. Like everyone's always like, how come Pep isn't winning the Champions League with Bayern Munich or City? Like, does he just need Messi all the time? But I think with the City owners giving him, I think a new contract. I think 2 years. Contract. I think they know that it might not happen this season. I think they still have faith in Pep. Even if we don't win it, I think they'll still give Pep all the time that he for City. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll win it. It's one of them. You need a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
You need a little bit, obviously. Oh, City are a fantastic team. On our day, we're capable of beating anyone. But it's whether we will. I think it is a mentality thing. I feel like we'd probably go into a game thinking they overthink the little games. They overthink like your Leons, and then they play well against the top teams. So it's almost like people are saying, "Oh, if you get Bayern, you're out." But I probably have more confidence against Bayern than I'm going to have against Mönchengladbach, because it's just like City might overthink it a little bit, which I don't hope not. So yeah, I don't know whether we'll win it. I think we'll win it when we least expect it. That's what we always said, when City aren't very good and you think, yeah, they've got no chance, probably win it then. But I do think our defence is a lot better. The past, when we've gone out, we've been conceding a lot of goals. I think we went out to Tottenham 6-6. We went out to Monaco 6-6. We went out to Liverpool. I think we scored 3 goals or something. So, and we conceded, I think 5. I don't even know what it was, 5-3 or something like that. So yeah, we're conceding quite a lot of goals. So yeah, I think if we can strengthen up at the back like we look like we have, I think we have more of a chance. I wouldn't say we're definitely there. I think PSG would feel like they're at that level where they can win it, and it's not happened for them yet. Yeah. So there's a couple of teams like the Champions League. There's quite a few teams that kind of have to win it. PSG are very much like City. They have to win it. Like their club have bought Neymar and Mbappe to win the Champions League, the same way we've got Pep in to win the Champions League. And that's why Tuchel got sacked. And it's not because he's not a good manager, it's because he couldn't bring them what they need, which is and like you say, their league is easier to win in terms of League One. So it's kind of like, because their league is easier, there's more pressure on them to win the Champions League. So I don't know. My theory on the Champions League is that Fergie had arguably the best squad for quite a while. Man United were dominating, and even he couldn't win it too many times. So I think it's a little bit unfair to kind of throw that at Pep, like you have to win it now, blah, blah, blah. I understand, like you were saying, because he didn't win it with Bayern, it's a little bit, he is a little bit under pressure to win it. But I just think to come to a club that haven't won it before, what are we saying if he wins it for Man City? You probably just play it down to, oh, it was City, it wasn't anything to do with Pep. So I don't think he's going to get ratings whether he wins it or not, to be fair. But I hope he can win it. I love Pep. He's the best manager we've ever had. So it'd be nice if we can win it with him. But like I say, it might be a Chelsea situation where we get a manager in temporarily while we're waiting for the next person after Pep, and they come in and win the Champions League. Like, you don't know. But yeah, we'll have to see. But our club, it's not, these questions about Pep are not going to come from our club. they're going to come from journalists, opposition fans. Yeah, they're not coming from our fans, and they're not coming from the club. Oh Lord, all the comments have gone up. Sorry, like way back. Ryan says, at least Mahrez can control the ball. Oh God, Neeks, where have you been? Ryan hates Salah. Like, it's one sec. 187 Gax Crit says Salah as a player isn't great, but you can't deny the guy is a goal scoring machine. It's funny because every time he scores now, I think of Ryan. It's actually funny. Oh, he said, Jan, I meant you look like you're freezing in that City shirt. Put something red on. Nah, I'm good, thanks. Conrad, big up to Conrad says, big up Jan and Rose.
Big up yourself.
They're all talking about Liverpool. This is not a Liverpool show, guys. When Ryan starts his Liverpool show, we can go in the comments with some Salah love. Oh, God. Right. 187 Gax Crit says, Pep playing Cancelo in the inverted fullback role is genius. I remember he did that at Bayern with Alaba. I always say Pep's a genius. Like, for me, it's little things like when we played Cheltenham. Like, okay, it's Cheltenham, but we weren't winning that game at the time. Pep could have brought on attacking players. He brought on Diaz to strengthen the defence. He brought Cancelo on because Cancelo's like a danger going forward. And he brought on Gundogan, who tightened the midfield. Like, no one would have said bring them on. Like, everyone was saying bring on Sterling, you know, bring on these attacking players, and he brought on the 3 best City players, and they went and won the game. So it's like things like that. He thinks differently to everyone else. Yeah. Like, if that's Ollie's bringing on probably an attacking player, and then you probably lose.
I'm actually so dumb.
Or draw. Like, it's mad. Saying that, Man United probably would have just got some penalty in the first half. Would have been winning anyway, you know. John Kai, big up to him. He says, why not Aki at left back? Yeah, Aki can play left back and he has done, but he's not fit.
Yeah.
Pep said he's not available. So I don't really know. He didn't have injuries and then he came to City and he can't stay fit. I feel a little bit sorry for him because I think, you know, he was doing all right. I think he's a solid player. I think personally, because people were saying yesterday about Aki being a bit of a waste of money. No. I think we bought Aki because we were going for Koulibaly. And with Koulibaly being older, I think we bought Aki to kind of replace Koulibaly when he leaves. But we ended up getting Diaz, who is younger. Because I think that's why, you know, because people are saying, why would you buy Aki? And I think that's why. But obviously, he got relegated. So he wanted to stay in the Prem. So it's a good move for him. Even if he doesn't play too much, it's not a bad move. And you never know, like, it could the pairing could be him and Diaz at one point. Like, you just don't know how it's going to work. Like, you just never know. Conrad said, Jan and Rose, Messi, Lingard. Oh, Messi, Lingard. Messi, Lingard. No. To the Etihad project, Messi's better than De Bruyne. I'm assuming you're talking about Messi being better than De Bruyne then. Yeah, if you're talking about that fraud, Jess being better than, you know, you have to ask why he left Man United. Neek says, Laporte doesn't get forward enough as a fullback. True. But, you know, we can change these players. We had Delph at left back. He was not a left back. Ryan says, why aren't we going for Laporte? He's not playing for City and instead we're being linked with bloody Mustafa. Love our club. There's no way City would sell Laporte. There's no way. Why not sentiment says 5-0 City. I hope so. You know, I like that. Yeah, Neek says City would never sell him to you. Yeah, there's no way.
Never.
To be honest, City probably would sell him to you, but nah, it can't happen. The fans are going mad. Ravi says, big up Tim, says, even Con and De Bruyne out, you boys. City looks so strong. I think you are going to slap Sheffield 5-0. I hope so. I think, you know what, it's interesting because De Bruyne was out in 18-19. Bernardo stepped up. Gundogan stepped up. Sterling stepped up. And it kind of looks so far like they're doing that again. And it's nice to see, like, we play differently with De Bruyne in and out of the squad. I think when he's in the squad, he's like the middleman. So everyone kind of looks for him. So if you've got the ball, you're looking for De Bruyne. When he's not in the squad, people don't look for the one player. So they might pass it to Gundogan, but then they might pass it to Foden, or they might pass it to Sterling. And I think that confuses defenses. And I think that's why we get such big wins when De Bruyne's not in it, because in a normal game, you just shut out De Bruyne. Every time, you know, a ball comes in, block it out, or hope to block it out, you know, and it's a little bit easier to defend against City with De Bruyne simply because he's the main man. Whereas when he's not there, like I say, there's different options. So they might go towards Sterling, but then someone passes to Mahrez. So it's like, it's a little bit more unpredictable. And I think that's why City do so well when De Bruyne's not in there. Obviously, he's still our best player, like, in terms of talent. So we are going to miss him, but I think our team are good enough to win these games. I think where we are going to struggle is if Kun doesn't come back for Liverpool, Tottenham, these sorts of games. But I think he'll be back because he's just got a COVID, and he said that he's waiting for a test to find out if he's negative, and then he'll go back to training. So we need him at Anfield because he's never scored at Anfield. He will want to do that, but he is our most clinical player. So we definitely need him for Anfield. I think we need him against Spurs as well, if we've got any chance of beating Spurs. I know we're at home, so we should really win. But yeah, I think if we can get him back for them games, I'm not too worried that De Bruyne is not in the match. But we'll see. Neek says, I need a Sterling hat-trick. Good luck with that. Ryan says, City won't struggle against Sheffield United at home, unlike some teams, not mentioning any names. Neek says, stop smiling at our Al.
No.
You know what? Some City fans were actually saying I'm not even saying anything till we've got it out the way. Because this season's been crazy. Like, I was proper, when I watched Spurs against West Ham, I was like, come on, West Ham. You know, when they were 3-0 up and then they went to 3-3, and I was like, come on. And then the next week we drew, and I was like, yeah, I'm never celebrating. Like, obviously, I'm happy that United didn't win because I thought it was 3 points for them. But yeah, when it comes to City, like, as much as we need to win and stuff like that, like, I just don't have that arrogance that Man United fans have, where I'm like, we're definitely beating Sheffield. It's going to be 7-0. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you what it's going to be until I see how City perform. You know, at half time, I'll be able to tell you whether we're gonna win or not.
I agree. Like, because obviously the season is just so unpredictable. Like, who would have thought Sheffield United would go to Old Trafford and win? Like, come on, like. And I think even the Liverpool Spurs match, that was unpredictable as well. I mean, I know that, you know, Liverpool have that front three, but I was expecting so much more from Spurs in that match.
Yeah, they didn't even do anything. They didn't at all.
Like, no, this league is so crazy, Yannicka. So yeah, I mean, let's just get Sheffield United out of the way because I don't know what's coming.
Yeah, this season's literally got to be game by game, and you just take every game seriously. Every game's like a cup final, and if you see it like that, I think you'll be all right. But thinking too far ahead is not really doing anyone any favors, because United fans were kind of like, yeah, when we play Arsenal, it's like, it's kind of like, yeah, you need to get Sheffield out the way first. And I think maybe even in the players' heads, they're thinking of the next game. So it's just dangerous this season, the way it's going. Why not said, how can we start when the L was so juicy? Like, you know what? When we lose, Man United fans always come for us. So that's what I'm here for. Kamasola, big up to him, says, morning, Yannicka. He says, hello, Rose. Big up to him. Conrad says, stop talking about Sheffield United. My friends are bullying me about it. You know what? I have no sympathy because when I got bullied for being a City fan, no one felt sorry for me. He says Mustafi is a World Cup winner. True. Kelly says Sheffield United has given me sleepless nights. This is great. I didn't realise how good it was. Don't come for me if City lose, though. You know, it is what it is. It's funnier when it's Man United. Conrad said, Jan and Rose, I'm doing take your time with it if we win today. Oh, God. Tired to blame the ref. Neek says, take your time with it. That's a flawless thing. That's not me. Ryan, stop jinxing Man City, man, because he's saying this about United, but we're playing them at home as well. So we'll see what happens today. But yeah, hopefully we don't lose to the worst club in Premier League history like United did. That's all I can say. Cavasola says 2-0. Assuming that means to City, hopefully. Conrad says 10-0 Sheffield United. That's highly unlikely. Neeks is winding up Ryan. Oh, good. Cavasola says, well done, ladies. Yeah, we're going to wrap up shortly. Flawless says, I tuned in to this marriage proposal. Ryan hating on Salah.
Oh, gosh.
Conrad says, Pep was celebrating like a proud dad against West Brom. It's interesting because everyone was saying that. Pep, like the way he spoke about his players at the start of the season and the way he speaks about them now and the way he celebrated against West Brom. Like, the thing I like about Pep is he has a plan and it doesn't work at the beginning. And you can see he's getting frustrated. And then it works and it's just beautiful. Like, that's why I always trust Pep. Like, when people are saying Pep out, I'm like, never that. Like, even if we were sort of 18th in the league, I'd be like, he'll have some plan. He'll have a plan. And we'd probably go and win the Champions League knowing City, if that was the case.
You know what I just like how even when we don't win a match, he doesn't criticise the players. Like, he comes up with something and says, you know, I thought my players played well, even though we just so I really like that he doesn't openly criticise players, and I think that's why, you know, a lot of players, you know, really, really think that he's like a good manager. Yeah.
Because I think people are kind of looking for things to kind of point the finger at City, so they'll say like, "Oh, Laporte's not happy. Laporte's going to leave." This is why Pep is such a good manager, because if you think about all the egos in the Man City dressing room, like we have so many players that are superstars. And yet they're very rarely unhappy. Like even Leroy Sané, he wasn't happy at City, but even he was still performing, you know, and coming on, and he wasn't like storming off or refusing to come to training and all that sort of stuff. So even he, who wasn't necessarily happy at City, was still happy with the club.
Yeah.
And it takes a good manager to do that. That's good man management. John Kerr says, do you think you guys need Haaland and Messi in the summer window to win the Champions League?
That would be lovely.
Yeah, it would be. Do you know what? I'd love Haaland. He is like the dream, but I just don't know if he'll get him. I just can't see Pep buying him. I would love him though. Messi, I don't think we need Messi to win the Champions League, no. But if he comes, I'd say the Champions League is much more likely. If we got Haaland and Messi with the squad that we've currently got and we don't win the Champions League, we're never going to win it.
Yeah.
It's just... Ryan says, I think Pep will win the Champions League with City, especially if Messi goes to City. I think so. I'd quite like him to win it without Messi.
Mm.
I would quite like him to win it with the team that we've got now. I do want Fernandinho to win it. I'd love him to lift it. Oh my God, that would be I'd have to get a wall mural with him lifting the Champions League. Like, that would be some crazy, crazy thing. And I also want Aguero to win it. I think he's been such a good player. I know Henry had to go to Barcelona to win it. So yeah, I think it's the dream for him to win it at City. I'd hate for him to have to leave to win it. So yeah, Kamasola says we will win it. It's a question of when, not if. I agree with that. There's no way there's no way that we won't win it. I'm sorry. He says the only teams that can compete are Bayern and Atalanta.
Okay.
Ryan says if I wasn't a Liverpool fan and if I was a neutral fan, I'd want City to win the Champions League with Pep, just so Pep can shut the doubters up. Most disrespected manager in the world. I agree. 187 Gangs Crit says, Jan, I heard Stockport Steve from the Big Six say that if City sign Messi, they're going to give him shares into future City projects and build soccer schools around the world. Is this true? I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. The City are the company that runs City are like crazy. They're crazy ambitious, so you probably would. Sachin says, do you think City can beat PSG? I think our record is 100% against PSG. We've only played them once. I think we knocked them out. That's about it. So I don't know. They do have some good players. Yeah, Why Not Sentiment says hit the like button. I'm going to wrap it up shortly. Kamasola says he's under no pressure. It's rival fans and the biased media. I agree with that. I don't think he's under too much pressure at City.
Yeah.
Deluded Talk says big up, guys. Big up to you. Zayn AFC says Man City win the league. I'm sorry, there are no Man United and other teams, no chance. And we find out after when Man City beat Liverpool. Good luck with that. We're at Anfield. I'll take the draw. You know. And do you know what? We do need to win Anfield at some point. And I think this is the way this season's going. Is the season to do it.
Yeah.
Ryan says Pep's football knowledge and IQ is something else. It's mad. He's mad. You can see him on the touchline and thinking, and like even when like people taking the mick out of him drinking out of his bottle, you can see his head's going like madness. 187 says Gangster Crit says Jan taking all the shots at Ali at United. That's what I'm here for. You know what? At the start of the season, I wasn't even taking shots at United, and then United fans started taking shots at me. So we're firing back. That's what it is. Zayn says, do you lot rate Aki, by the way?
Yeah, I do.
I do. I think he's a solid player. Flawless agrees. He says 187 is taking bare shots in it. Of course. You know, it is what it is. Zayn says, only United can make Sheffield look good. It will be 5-1 Man City. Do you know what? You don't know that because actually, as good as we are being, I do think we only beat them 1-0 at the beginning. And I know at the beginning of the season we weren't scoring too much. And I think if that same game was played now, we win that like 3-4-0 because we had the chances, but we just weren't putting them away. But yeah, I don't think it'll be that big a win. Kamasola says De Bruyne is Mr. Hollywood. Without him, we are more balanced. Flawless says, I know she's a joker. Big up to Rose there. Bigging you up because you're not taking shots. And then he says, I'm playing salute to these two queens. MB Gunner Fan says, Pep doesn't get enough credit. The mess he walked into at Barca back in 2008 and what he did after was impressive. Yeah, but people like agenda's better than facts in it. And people, I think, would rather see it as, oh, Barcelona were always going to win than give Pep the credit.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, though, because I remember when Fergie said he was leaving and, the stuff I was seeing about Pep, best manager ever, perfect guy to overtake Fergie, only guy, you know, that's beaten Fergie back-to-back in Europe. He was getting the most amount of love. The minute he was linked with City, it's average, overrated, always have good teams, can't do it without money, can't do it without Messi. I'm not interested. You want Pep at your club. If your club had Pep, your club are better.
Yeah.
The only people that could maybe argue against that would be Liverpool fans because they've got Klopp. You know, but everyone else, your team's better with Pep. Ryan says Ashley Barnes has more goals at Anfield than Aguero. Yeah, you need to tweet Aguero that just before the game so he scores. That's what you need to do. I wish that game was on my birthday, you know, because Aguero always scores on my birthday, and he doesn't just score once, he scores like 4 times. He's done it twice. I think he's got a hat trick and 4 goals on my birthday, and it's 3 days before my birthday. So I wish they'd moved it. That would be good. Saeed says Gundogan hat trick. I would love that. You will see me in the most if that happens. Deleted Talk says after all that chat, you're worried about Sheffield. This is Man City.
Yeah.
Like, is crazy. Like, I'm not worried about Sheffield. I think we should beat Sheffield, but this season is very, very unpredictable. And I'm not the type to just rule teams out and say, yeah, they're not going to win, because you just never know. Okay, we'll wrap this up in a sec. Just talking about Arsenal. See if there's any more comments. Oh, Makarov, big up to you. He says, love from India. Big up to you for checking in. Torstein says, good show. Big up to you. Comatola says, Haaland not coming. Yeah, I can't see him coming. I'd love him to come, but I can't see it. But yeah, he also says we'll win at Anfield. But we'll wrap it up now. Flawless says, before you go, everyone, hit the like button and subscribe. We'll be back next week at the same time, probably 11:30, 12-ish, for the next episode of GyalDem City. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating a win against Sheffield United. But, you know, it's a crazy season. But thanks, everyone, for tuning in. See you later.